First, I did go through trauma. I did go through depression. Everything you can imagine did happen to me. And if someone says that does not happen to them, then they are superhero. Then they are superhuman being, superhero. But I'm like a normal human being.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to another episode of Innovating India, the show that gets you all the interesting innovation that's happening across the country and the people who are driving that innovation. This week, my guest is Sandeep Agarwal, founder and CEO of Droom. But he's not the founder of only one unicorn, he's actually built two unicorns nearly back to back. Thank you, Sandeep. Delighted to have you on the show. Let me begin by asking you, what do entrepreneurs like you who go ahead and build not one but multiple unicorns do differently, say, from other entrepreneurs?
I feel that I don't know whether versus other entrepreneur, maybe sometime it's maybe luck is a little bit more on your side or not on your side. But I would say a couple of things which make someone a very successful entrepreneur or maybe who can repeat his success. One is passion. If you're passionate, then everything, it's no longer a work. And passion is something which is inseparable from you. Does not matter what other circumstances, what stage of the company you are receiving, right? So one is passion, really, it's a big thing. Second thing is you need to be eternally hopeful, right? Because, like I would never call myself as exceptional in academic or anything else, but I think I'm exceptional in being hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful in a long term to the level people will think that this is impossible. And more often I have realized that becomes true rather than not true. And third is you just need to take a long term approach. If you take something as a project, then you might not achieve what you are hoping. But if you take a long term approach, you can truly create a world class company. So these are the two three things, Shweta, I would say, which really makes huge difference.
Okay, let me just dive deep into your journey, right? You built a unicorn, you lost it, and then you built another one. So tell me about that period, of rejection, of failure. How did you overcome that?
Literally my life went topsy turvy within 6 months. After first time I was more than convinced that ShopClues has arrived. It's a matter of time, it'll be $1 billion company plus go to public. So but like any other human being, I must say, first I did go through trauma. I did go through depression. Everything you can imagine did happen to me. And if someone says that does not happen to them, then they are superhero. Then they are superhuman being, superhero. But I'm like a normal human being. But what has helped me is I never let my human spirit die. The life circumstances were so stark that it actually did question my human spirit. But I did not let that happen. So a few months I was miserable. One day I woke up and I said the worst thing human being can do to be why me, self pity and miserable. So I overcame that, and I thought that the skills I have, the passion I have, energy I have, that is actually inseparable from me. Does not matter what has happened to me. Nobody can take away those. And then I used my training, my previous experiences to deploy that. And then I realized a lot of things for which I stood for. Actually, so many of my well-wishers saw me exactly same way. So when I reached out to them for a money or joining me as a team, or even telling my immediate family member that this is what I want to do, more than me, actually, they already believed in that. And so it was a very great endorsement. Your own confidence shake, but a lot of people who like you, they like you independently. So anyhow, that's how I came. My biggest learning is really never let human spirit die, and that's the single biggest thing which keeps everything alive on the face of planet, not just entrepreneurship.
When you're building, you do want inputs, but you don't know whom to trust, right? And especially when you're scaling and when you're thinking of scale and building a unicorn. Tell me the power of getting the right advisors, getting the right network for you to tap into. How does one go about it?
Absolutely. Shweta, that's a great question. I think mentor, guide, and networking are highly underrated, especially in Indian context and Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. So wherever I'm standing today, I can't thank enough all the people who came into my life in terms of guiding me. Right from my first job, I was 18 months into US. I finished my master's. My boss was my biggest mentor. So he guided me. And then over the years, while building ShopClues, while building Droom, multiple people came to me as a guide, as a mentor. And honestly, they never judged me. They never applied any prejudice. They just focused on helping me unleash my true potential. Secondly, just quickly, I draw a lot of my inspiration also, some of the legendary innovators and entrepreneurs of our era, and I was lucky to work with one or two of them closely. But yes, I mean, I absolutely don't let go any opportunity of seeking guidance, mentorship, or networking with people.
But if one could argue that anybody who thinks of starting something might be passionate. When you talk about passion, can you quantify it for me? Can you tell me what degree of passion does an entrepreneur who builds a unicorn have as compared to say an entrepreneur who starts out something but is not able to give it the kind of scale that we're talking about?
First of all, your foundation has to be very clear. Like a lot of people I meet, they want to be entrepreneur because they want to be their own boss, or they want to make more money, or they are eaten by the glamour and popularity they may achieve. But I think that's not passion. I think passion is which is innate, you what is inside you. If you do something, you just drive happiness rather than giving your energy. You almost drive energy. See, for me, my workplace is almost like a sun, and I'm like a solar panel. And the more I stay at work, the more happy. It is almost also definition of being workaholic. But I would say that Shweta, I think when you do something, it's no longer a work. Like how, let's say, some of our popular people, like say Sachin Tendulkar, how he excelled in cricket, or how Mr. Amitabh Bachchan excelled in acting. If they were doing it only for popularity or only for money, they would have retired much long before, versus they ended up doing that. So I think passion is really that, is basically really what is it, something when you do, it's no longer a work, and then you never feel tired, you are not watching clock, and you are doing it independent of any outcome.
You worked with Mr. Bill Gates, you worked with Mr. Charles Schwab. What are the lessons that you've learned from them that you incorporate in the running of Droom and even ShopClues for that matter?
Shweta, it's very interesting that when I was starting ShopClues, my first entrepreneurial journey, I gave highest credit to my Wall Street learning in terms of knowing internet and the numbers and everything in a really well, and that really prepared me well to be starting as an entrepreneur. But when it came to running the actual company, the day-to-day operations, I had so much of more appreciation what I learned with Mr. Chuck Schwab or Bill Gates, or working with these two legendary companies. I think the things, I was personally hired by a program ran by Mr. Chuck Schwab out of the business school. And the biggest thing I learned from him is really, the Schwab was 27, 30-year-old company. They had a very strong org structure. The duty and responsibilities were very nicely defined. They had huge emphasis, independent of role, on the people on a role of project management, accountability, timeline, cross group collaborations. They all sound very tactical, operating things, but trust me, this is where rubber meet the road, and they really helped me. For Bill Gates, he's a very, very visionary, probably the brightest person in our era ever came, right? So three things which are very helpful for me to think very big. One is always go for large addressable opportunity. Second thing, if you have technology as a center of what you do, you will have a lot of competitive moats. And finally, always go for high gross margin. These are the three things just help me every time, whenever I have to think big, because a lot of time in a day-to-day operations, you can shrink to think very small. But, I never let go these three frameworks in anything I do in terms of business.